What's good, everybody? We're back with another video. Today I want to try to get some work done on the E46 M3, but before we hop into this, the E39 M5 finally has another update. So last week we did suspension and that's all figured out. It had the weird little misfire issue, but once again came and it went. We have no idea what that was. I'm assuming a loose ground somewhere, but the car hasn't stumbled since and has been back on its feet. So yesterday was my first day off and I woke up early as I could and we went to the exhaust shop. So if you can see right in there, those are the secondary cats. So I know it's a little controversial to delete these on these cars, but it sounds amazing. So we have a random aftermarket muffler. I have no idea what it is. So maybe if any of you guys have seen it, you could let me know what it is. It has square exhaust tips, which I can't find anywhere, and it really has no branding. So it has what looks like to be legit arms and legit mounting points, but there's no branding. So I'm just assuming it's aftermarket, cheaper eBay. But I'm not gonna lie, with the cat delete and that random muffler, this thing sounds good. It's not quite as loud as all the other ones I've had. Those ones just had straight muffler delete with a secondary cat delete, but it still sounds good. And you guys can tell me what you guys think. It honestly doesn't even sound that much different on idle. You can definitely hear it a little bit more, but it's still not crazy loud on idle. All the other cars were extremely loud and you could immediately tell that that car was straight pipe. But once you get into RPM, this thing opens up a lot. But anything under a couple thousand RPMs, this thing is super quiet. I'll let it warm up for a couple minutes and then I'll give you guys some revs. I need to get some more footage of this thing in cabin driving. We'll get some exhaust clips of this as well. I need to take this thing for a drive. This has to go for a drive. But I just watched back the video and I just noticed now that there's some leaking coming from the exhaust. So I didn't notice this before, but on both sides, there's a tiny little hole. Now, I don't know if this is a drilled hole or they just been on the car for so long and it's just how they are, but it's completely matching and identical. So I don't think that they're just rotting away like that. Maybe someone else fucked up, put a hole there. I don't know why that would be there, but apparently now we need to fix that too. So let me know what you guys think, how it sounds. We'll get some more footage of this thing for sure. But to me, I like it. I like driving these cars. And with the other exhaust, once you got over like 40 miles an hour, you just really couldn't hear it. So trying to go for a spirited drive was a little more difficult. I'd like to enjoy and hear the car, especially in higher RPMs. So let me know what you guys think about this. Okay, now back to the E46 M3. Let's go ahead and start this thing up with the MAF unplugged and see if it runs any better, any change at all. But unfortunately, this thing has section 2 removed, so this thing has no secondary cats. Now the M5 has no secondary cats, so now everything in my garage is gonna smell like fuel at all times. So let's go ahead and start this thing up and see if we can notice a difference. Just gonna have to sit here and wait and see if we have any difference. Right now it's holding a smooth idle, but it usually does for the first couple minutes, and then after that, that's when it starts going crazy and bogging. I'll give it some slight revs to see if it dies after. That's usually what it does. If I rev it, it'll just immediately die once it gets down in RPM. Well, so far so good. Let this thing warm up some more and we'll try again. It's been sitting here for probably 5 minutes already. I've been revving it on and off. It holds the idle when it drops an RPM. It actually doesn't even smell that terrible. You can still smell it because it is the secondary cat delete, but before, when I had the MAF plugged in, it was throwing both ridge codes and this thing was smelling so bad I couldn't even run the car anymore that I had to shut it off. That's how bad it was. You can definitely smell that it's still there, but what I'm guessing is that there's either a big vacuum leak somewhere and it's trying to compensate and it's giving too much fuel. and or it could just be a faulty MAF and it's just being weird, but usually that's not the case. If you're lucky it is, but I doubt it would just be the MAF. It would be throwing a MAF code and I would be having more of an actual error. But this thing's on and off because when I let it run, it'll run like this perfectly fine, and then out of nowhere it'll just die. There's no bogging, there's no dropping in RPM that kind of insinuates that it's gonna die. It literally just goes from how it is right now and then just shuts off like you turn the key. So it could be something different. It could be vacuum leak, could possibly be MAF. I'll take this thing out for a little bit of a drive later. It seems to be running a lot better with it actually unplugged, but until I go for a drive, it's going to be hard to say if that's the issue. Even with going for a drive, running with the MAF unplugged is definitely not a fun experience. The car is not as responsive. It definitely seems a little boggy and a little hesitant no matter what. So even if that is the issue, it'll be hard to tell with just driving with it unplugged. So until I get another one, it's really just a hit or miss. And even then, just buying another MAF, I know they're kind of expensive for this car. I'm pretty sure, like 73% sure that it's not the MAF, but it very well could be. So might as well just get it out the way for maintenance. Other than that, we'll go for a drive in this thing a little bit. M5 will be taken out. I'm not sure how I'm gonna split up the video, but those are the two updates that we have right now. We'll come back with some more footage later. I'm slowly giving in and I want to update and facelift the E39 M5. These for sure, they need new lenses. They need to be cleaned up, but I'm slowly giving in. I really want to facelift this car now. I really didn't want to at first. I loved how these look. We rebuilt them. They have new lens, new adjusters, but I just can't deny I want to facelift. So I'm gonna go ahead and test fit and see if that changes my mind or if that confirms I want to do it. Well, this isn't gonna really help me because that headlight looks like shit. I had cleaned up the lens a while ago, but they just been sitting and they yellowed right back. So it looks terrible right now because of the lens. So yeah, this really isn't a good telltale sign on if I want to do this or not, because that looks absolutely terrible. These, look how clear that is, and this does not match the car whatsoever. I'm trying to think ahead and in the future. I want to get the same apexes that I already bought. I bought EC7s, but a 19-inch, and it just wasn't my style. I love the wheel. I just think that 19 is too big, and I hated that the front wheel had no concave face. With that being said, I want to order 18s and see how I like that. I definitely want to go with probably 18.9 in the front, 18.10 in the rear. That way both faces are somewhat concave. Hopefully the rear is more. And then that way, I believe facelift headlights would look amazing with that. And we can go ahead and update some more things. I might want to do a front lip. I'm still going back and forth. I definitely need to order more parts. I'm just trying to sell what we have, get some more money, free up some funds, and definitely get the space. We've bought a lot of stuff. We bought a bunch of cars, and now I'm stuck with a garage full of shit and this piece of shit. So M5 is getting sorted, just kind of slowed down a little bit because this thing is taking up space and money. So we'll see. We'll hop back into it. Let me know if you think we should update and facelift these. We'll make an episode getting new lenses, go ahead and putting in the new wiring so we can run the halos, and updating the headlights. We'll get a new headlight sensor level. So let me know if that's something you guys want to see, because I'm definitely interested in doing it. While we're in here, these corner lights have LEDs that I took from the parts 540 I had, and they make the blinker flash fast as if the light is out, but they're really not. So we have replacement bulbs. Might as well go ahead and do this now. Easy access. Sometime in the future, I'm gonna have to find a new connector and plug because these things are so brittle. Once you actually pull these tabs to release the bulb, they just completely snap. So I think every car I've had in the past 6 months, this happened. As soon as you click the tabs, they snap. So I need to get new ones for sure. With the LEDs, this thing would be lighting up the whole entire garage. And with the normal bulbs in, what the heck is this? You can't even see in here. Well, at least I won't have fast blinkers, I guess. While we put in the old headlight, I had to do some replica bumper maintenance. The clips had broken again because when we went to the exhaust shop, the car was super low to go on the lift, and it scraped and kind of pulled on it twice. And as well, traction bars hit the lift too. But oh well, this thing's back alive, and I'm excited to drive this thing again.